Yo, and wait, am I on? Hangouts. Okay, I'm broadcasting, but why? Okay, it started. Okay, now I have to pause it. They need to like have a better streamlining for this because they need to have something where I can like see the chats and the comments and like broadcast at the same time without having to like hear myself talk. Ooh. Okay, both would be ideal. I would I would not maybe like to ain't nobody watch me anyways, because I don't want to like rip their life completely. Well, I kind of do, but I don't want to be that brutal. Okay, so I'm going to start out with a little bit of it on, and then I'm gonna go, I guess, back to my face once I start cracking up. So let me figure out how to switch it over. So for those of you who are trying to figure out what's going on here, look in the comments and I already linked it anyway. So it's really no point in not just like flipping it around and exposing the conspiracist. Okay. Wait. Am I screen sharing? Okay. Present to everyone. Is that what I'm doing? Okay, I'm screen sharing. I wasn't presenting to everyone before. Who was I presenting to before? I'm scared. Presenting to the damn NSA. Okay, so the link to where I am right now is in the description. I'm gonna start reading. So basically, the context is like, I guess you see it with the initial question, which is like, how common is it to find a singer that can access their whistle register? So everybody tries to make it like it's this glorious gift from God that only the chosen few. But like, I be whistle registering when I fart too hard or something like that. It really is not that serious. Like, there, whistle register, not serious. Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, it is not that deep. So now let me read some of this. So Krampus says, my understanding is that it's basically a throat whistle. So you're gonna need to have some of the throat constriction. Then I just imagine pushing out a really thin sound. Oh, let me do a little bit of the Krampus voice. Or don't. I can't do it without laughing, and it's so hard to like talk in bass range without laughing. When you're laughing. Okay, so I don't have this sort of control or grace to my whistles. Mariah, I'm gonna stop. But I've been able to use them for some interesting effects. Y'all can click the links in there. I've heard them whistle before. And my show probably freeze if I try to click that. As for range, there are people with all sorts of voices that can whistle. I have a lower voice. He really does have a lower voice. And I didn't find it that challenging to access, though it is challenging to summon a particular pitch on command, which I experienced that when I first started whistling. So given that I'm on a Discord server where almost half the population can whistle, and most who put any effort into it, leads me to believe it's far from a rare gift. I agree on all counts. So skip over these reasonable people. Thank you so much. And you better be thankful for all this knowledge. I'm a tenor and I can access it somewhat easily as well, even though he's choking on a Lego. So it really is not that deep. Okay, so here we go. So Anubis's ass says, so this doesn't sound like a true whistle register to me. It's too strained, almost like reverse phonation. How is reverse phonation strained? What is it? Do you mean like aggressive when you're breathing in? Like, is it like anti-phonation that's just like undo, like when you do reverse phonate, does everybody else around you lose an octave? Is that what I need to understand what reverse phonation is. I've only accessed my whistle register once by fluke, trying to mimic a YouTube video a few years ago, which means it's easy, but I will never forget oh my God! They are using this as their basis. I'm an expert. I accessed it once as a fluke, so I'm an expert. No, God. I'm more of an expert than someone that has 2 recordings of it. Oh, it was the most liberating sensation. Oh, my God. Oh, no, not Renaissance paintings. I shouldn't have read ahead. Oh, my ass. I should have read ahead. I'm not going to make it through this. I'm not going to make it through. Oh, only I can make it through the night. Okay. It felt as though the top of my head was exploding. With immediately imagined I was the Halo. There's your whistle register. No! The haloed entities of Renaissance paintings, despite the intense pressure in my head. No! That wasn't the whistle, that was the subdural hematoma. Bitch, you have a concussion, you's gonna die. Clearly, these are the hallucinations brought on by a subdural hematoma. Oh my God, this is so bad. This is so bad. It's okay. It was light and easy and soft. Which was it? Was it intense pressure or was it soft? So soft. Is that what you feel when you hit these notes? And I thought my memory isn't perfect because of the subdural hematoma. I don't recall any throat constriction. Oh my God. The accident. Since the accident, I was never the same. I couldn't laugh and I couldn't blink with my left eye ever since the accident. Made me realize I'm drooling, I'm foaming at the mouth. Made me realize what kind of placement and ease I had to strive for in all my singing. And it's like everything made sense for me. It was truly a divine experience. Now, I can't talk in these people do not talk in M1. I need to talk in M2 when I'm reading this shit. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to replicate it since, because now I think I'm trying too hard to make it happen. Whereas before I wasn't expecting anything. I can lip trill up to the B6 though, so I know I still have it. Wait. So you haven't accessed before, but now you're hitting a B6. You're hitting your lip. I need to hear this B6. Oh, I need to hear this B6. Okay, more like BS. Anyways, so I have a number of different recordings I could post. The ones I included are some of my lower media whistles because I like how they sound better. But I have some where I sound like a tea kettle. They're definitely M3. Oh, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for the mechanisms. For the mechanisming. You can see that the spectrogram of the sound, if you know what to look for, but some may be a flagella, which is a different aspect of the M3 that's more continuous with M2. And I don't even know what to say about, I don't know what to say about any classical shit. So that's a valid definition. I sort of use a little, I don't even know. I'm just going to leave that for Anubis to figure out. Oh my God, not 0 points on every single post. I never thought I would see the day where our singing downvotes conspiracy. I would never thought I'd see the day. Okay. I don't know what to say about your experience, but it sounds a bit more like a second than singing. It is definitely a light and easy sound once you find the right mechanism to produce it. Just because there is a constriction doesn't mean that there is a lot of contention. You can pucker your lips for a whistle, but it's not like you're struggling to maintain that. Same with the throat whistle. Once you get your throat in the right position, it's pretty effortless. Honestly, I would prefer if it was M2 because it's possible to make an M2 a lot more of a full sound, whereas M3 is always thin and lacks rich overtones. But based off the fact that the spectrogram shows a clear difference between this and M2, I can use it to get more an octave above my falsetto. I'm pretty sure it's M3. As for the strain, I think that's just questionable technique. If someone posted a strained head voice, you wouldn't think it was chest, would you? Whistle is the same as registering anyway. It can sound nice or strained depending on how skilled you are at using it. Okay. Lol, a psychedelic trip. I was mainly emphasizing that the feeling was unquestionable. The point I was trying to make was that the sound feels like it's flooding or bitch, which one? Which one? Which one? Okay, it was flooding or shooting out of the top of your head, and I am wondering if that is the sensation you feel when you produce the sound that you posted. To me, your recording sounds more non-modal, although I am aware of the whole argument of whether whistle is even, nobody considers whistle modal. I mean, like, for me, whistle is modal because I scream, like, I laugh and whistle, but nobody considers, no, let me stop. So they're wondering, modal and like in voice usually refers to like stuff that is range and registers that you would access while talking. So M1, M2 people tend to access while talking. M0, M3, M0 is like super bassy. M3 is whistle register. People tend to not access when they're talking less than gifted, like me. Okay, if you posted other recordings, I would be interested to hear it. And if I can find a way to access my old one, I would be happy to show you what I'm talking about. The questionable technique is exactly what I'm referring to. If I recall, you can use that sound that you achieved to slide into the optimal resonance pussy. Push those panties to the side and slide into that resonance G spot. My perspective is that they're strained. It is not the whistle register. Whistle register is the purest form of that whistle. No! Okay. Here's the difference between, okay, let me check on y'all, see how y'all doing while I'm reading this and screaming. Okay, yeah. Oh my god. Do y'all want to see video of my face as well reacting to the shit? Let me know if you want me to switch it to video of my face. Okay. Here's the difference between a whistle and M2 and spectrogram for those that like to geek on that stuff. As you can see, M2 has a series of somewhat compact, evenly strong overtones, whereas whistle has a very strong fundamental and some spread out wispy overtones. So yeah, y'all click those to see, but he's just dropping off this free knowledge to you hosts. Oh shit, you got up to an F7. Ooh, I'm shook. My perch is not safe. I need to get good because right now the highest I could do probably be like a D sharp 7. Whistle, as far as I'm aware, is not modal. There's always going to be a gap between your M2 and whistle. It's flageolet that's more continuous with M2. Here's another whistle. The sound is admittedly rough, but it maxes out at C7, which is an octave above my falsetto. So if it's not whistle, I'm not sure what it is. I'd be happy to have my own register that only I can access, but I think it's likely one of the more established ones. So if it's not head or falsetto, it must be flageolet or whistle. I'm snotting. Nodded like Anubis is draining the phlegm from my body. Thank you, Anubis. Okay, so another one. That's under oh my god, you are though. You are. Not even Mariah. Let me stop. Let me not shade Mariah on YouTube and have my shit like shut down in several countries, especially Brazil. Death threats from Brazil. I think it's gonna be like the title of my autobiography when I like have been teaching for a minute. Death threats from Brazil. The crammed voice lesson story. Okay, so we are obviously approaching this from two completely different angles. You're coming at it from a strictly scientific analysis without actual application. Like, bitch, which one is the person that's actually posting recordings themselves doing it, as opposed to having like Elizabethan? I don't even know what type of. What's the era of the Roman Empire when it was like pederasty and like men having sex and getting drunk off a damn like foot stomp wine? What was the name of that fucking era with all that like Dionysus, Bacchanalian shit? Whatever era that was, your hallucinations were from that era. You serving a straight Fantasia in Krampus is the one with that. Okay. Well, I'm coming from a place of sensation and personal experience, and are avoiding my question in regards to your vocal placement. With all due respect, as soon as you compared it to a psychedelic trip, that told me everything I needed to know. Oh, Lord. Oh, you haven't experienced it, so you don't know what I'm talking about beyond what you read online. I'm an active musician and know few people who can sing whistle, including my own vocal coach. And as soon as I described my encounter, including the analogy to them, they knew exactly what I was referring to. You are Brazilian. Oh, this is so Brazilian. This is so Brazilian. No, you are definitely Brazilian with the way you end this message. So I will conclude that the sound you're producing, while awe-inspiring, is not in your whistle register. Have a good day. That is. I don't care that those words are English. That is a Brazilian. That is a Brazilian sign-off. That is a Brazilian salutation. Have a good day. Have a good day on Reddit is a Brazilian salutation. the Brazilian language. Okay. Oh, okay, I'll use science in the analysis. I want to do Krampus's voice so bad. Why can't I hold on? Okay, let me see if people want me to actually face. Have a good day. Oh, there's people to people. Like a screaming teapot. Not just a teapot, a screaming teapot. Oh, I love it. I love it. But how will you get a record deal without the screaming teapot? Okay, I'll use science in the analysis of the sound that I'm actually producing. You can, I can't do it. You can go with vaguely metaphysical pseudoscience. Different strokes. Pleasure speaking with you. Oh, Jesus. Science has limited value if you're only understanding it from a purely theoretical standpoint. Trust one day you will feel it and know what I meant. I'll admit I bristled. What? Bristle? That is definitely Brazilian residents. You bristled what? You bristled. Oh, you bristled his teeth like a toothbrush. Did you bristle like a Christmas tree? Are you getting festive on this whistle residence? You are definitely getting festive in the name of Mariah Carey. Ooh, Brazilian confirmed. Brazilian confirmed. I'm sorry. I promise I love Brazil. I promise I love Brazil. But y'all too much. Y'all team too much. Okay. I'd be happy to have my bristled. I bristled. Maybe they mean chuckle. Is that like a synonym? Bristled. Bristled. Somebody help me. I can't go on. I can't go on. That was Mariah Carey reference. Living in the memory of these bristles. I give my all to feel these bristles next to mine. Not Sonic! Not Sonic! No! Act angrily or defensively. I'll admit I bristled. But like use like that. Like cat bristled and annoyance, like in context, makes more sense to me than because I couldn't tell what because I feel like bristle is one of those things where it needs to take like a sort of like object phrase, something for me to understand that. That's like, I'll admit I said when you said. As opposed to I'll admit I said something offensive. Or like I'll admit I said offensively. Like it's one of those things where I feel like that kind of bristle doesn't just like, you don't just say I bristled. Like that's why I thought it was like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I thought they were going into their defense mechanism to defend their children. Like when the invading Krampus species came on their turf. Like I thought it was like that kind of bristle because like that the bristle that you're talking about with that definition, I felt like bristled in annoyance or like I bristled by doing XYZ. Well, that's what I would see. Like the verb say is the same for me. Like you like when you say someone said something, like you have to say what they said, either as an object or never mind. Let me keep going. So I apologize for any arrogance on my part, as that serves no one. But let me leave you. Oh, that's so Brazilian. But telling you this: when your lip trail scales up there without throat tension and sustain the note, pay attention to what you're feeling in your head. Oh, and actual experiences aren't vaguely metaphysical pseudoscience, completely opposite, especially when corroborated by others. Oh, okay. Science helps us move past these ideas. Okay, this is where I was like, I had to do a YouTube of me reading this. Like I had to do a live reaction of me reading this. Okay. So Krampus says, science helps us move past these ideas of beams of resonance shooting out of your forehead. Like it or not, all of singing, all of phonation for that matter, is your diaphragm pushing air through your lungs, vibrating your vocal cords to produce a pitch. No magical streams of radiant energy, acoustic energy shooting out of your head. No angels! I wish I'd read this for the first time, but it's still getting me. No angels dancing around, just different frequencies of vibration, air pressure, and vocal cord closure. You can make this singing into this abstract thing that can only be experienced in outside the realm of scientific measurement, but you're only shooting yourself in the foot. No, he's only shooting resonant radiant beams from his head, from his tiara. Whistle, tiara, magic! Oh shit, I wonder if Deke is gonna copyright strike this video for appropriating Sailor Moon. Okay. All of the modes have different acoustic characteristics that are consistent and can be measured. M3 looks like M3, regardless of whether or not you want to play the no true Scotsman game and disqualify anything that doesn't sound like you expect it to. I wasn't ready for this response. I wasn't ready. Oh, also understand it's difficult, but if you can get vibrato on the lower pitches, then I will concede. Oh my god. Okay, where are we going? Okay. Oh shit. Okay, this is just this one. Fuck, I'm gonna have to go back. Okay, I believe I provided that in one of my original clips. The vibrato was wobbly. My vibrato in general needs work. Let me know if you guys want a clinic on vibrato, just in general. But it was on something like a G6, so that's about as low as I was going to be able to go. That's a recent recording a month ago. I would just tell you that I can't do whistle vibrato. It's not something that I can do well consistently, but I've met very few who can. I'm not trying to detract from the skill of good whistlers, to be clear. Master of the whistle register is a skill that few possess. There are a few that could be considered masters of any other register. I think part of that, though, is people being convinced that whistle is some sort of magical thing that only the most gifted of sopranos can access. It's something that your vocal cords, why do I keep correcting folds cords, same thing, are capable of doing. If manipulate it right, and you can get better at it. For proof of that, here are some of my early whistles. I still have work to do, but I like to think that my newer recordings show a greater amount of control than I have in that clip. If you would like an appeal to authority, Justin Stoney of New York Vocal Academy considers whistle basically a parlor trick that anyone can do. How dare you argue against my sensations with your science and reasoning and empirical examples and even appeals to authority. Please go back to the right spot. Okay. Oh damn. Oh damn. I think we're coming to the closing stretch. Let me check on y'all, see how y'all doing. Sonic the Bristle. Screaming syntax. Sorry. Sonic the Bristling Screaming Syntax. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, can you say bestseller? Oh, can you say revive the Sonic franchise? And there's a comment about being able to whistle mode over the lip trills. Oh, that's a few nuggets. Okay. You're taking a metaphor I used. You're taking a metaphor I used and using it as though I meant it in a literal sense. I was trying to describe the sensation of the resonance, and the pressure of the air does indeed feel like it's being emitted from the top of the... What was the register? What resonant? Is inside your head? I need to know. girl, what is at the top of your fine. You have like the nasal pharynx. That's like the highest you can go. But the top of your head, like really above your brain, bitch. Above your brain, that's the subdural hematoma, girl. Call a doctor. Get a house MD. Shit, I don't think they even saved the person with the subdural hematoma on house. Shit, you need help. Shit, this is an hour ago. You still have time, maneuvers. There's still time for you. There's still life within you yet. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. I'm like emitting so much snot right now. It's so therapeutic. Oh, good thing I do not have video on. Oh, Lord. Okay, I have to ask you, what is your background in singing? Because the language of comparisons I am using is commonplace with vocalists and immediately understood. Continue this thread. Do I want to continue? It's commonplace in classical pedagogy that began before we had the tools to measure these things precisely, and thus uses a lot of pseudoscience to describe things that can be explained in far more concrete terms. My training is with a teacher who uses modern vocal pedagogy that prefers to construct these things based on actual underlying biology and then extracts them when necessary to help get a feel for things. Yes, singing can make a lot of different parts of your skull resonate, but using descriptors like the sound tuning of your forehead doesn't do anyone any favors. It's coming out of the same place every other sound comes out of. For the record, yes, when I sing high notes in general, I can feel some vibrations in the upper parts of my skull. This is true as well with whistle. For me, I don't know. Like, do I? I'm so much mucus kicked up now that I can't even do a clean whistle anymore. No. I'm not really feeling anything. Not to say that you don't, but like I don't. Okay, but then I respect your position, but we speak very different languages. For me, it is helpful to practice and learn with the abstract imagery and remove biology and physics and reality and science and accuracy and truth and knowledge and justice from the equation. To turn the mind off, so to speak. Girl, your mind is turning off from the subdural hematoma. It's not too late. We can get you help, girl. If you believe this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. No, we're losing them. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Oh, but I do understand where you're coming from, but thanks for the discussion. Oh, they must be British. Oh, kinesthetic. Do British people even spell kinesthetic like that? Oh, let me look that up on my phone. Do British people even spell kinesthetic like that? I know they spell aesthetic like that, but I don't know about kinesthetic. Oh shit, they do. Shit, they still do that. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, they're definitely terminally, critically, dramatically British. Okay. Whew. Fair enough. If it's working for you, then that's all that really matters. I think so long as you're observing your voice and recognizing what you're doing wrong, there are a number of different ways to proceed with fixing it. The essential thing is to be aware. Be aware of the subdural. Yeah, I spell aesthetic like that by itself. Like aesthetic is still like that, but synesthetic, kinesthetic, what is another aesthetic? I spell like aesthetic raw like that. Sonic teapots. Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog teapots are like Sonic resonance projection teapots. Oh, that concludes. Oh, Jesus Lord. The A with those. Yeah. Because that's what we do in America. But yeah, there's another aesthetic that I'm missing. It's kinesthetic, synesthetic. What is another one? Oh, anesthetic. I was gonna say. Whew. Well, I hope y'all had a good time. I cleared a lot of mucus. This has been very healthy. Let me know if y'all have any questions about the shit I was ranting and raving about. Oh Lord Jesus. Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Oh yeah, if I don't see any questions in here in a bit, I'm gonna go die now. I'm gonna go pray for this person to call 911 to get this subdural hematoma looked at it. Oh, so did I, Krampus. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh, oh Jesus. Oh fuck. Extensions, we will hang out. Okay, stop broadcast. Bye, y'all.